I think the president's right. I think this is a very clear choice for the American people as to what America's future will look like. The president's vision is rebuild the foundation of America's strength with great homes, great schools, which is creating more jobs. That's the course that he has laid out. His policy for the economy is encourage growth in jobs. I disagree with that. And I think the exact opposite approach is what's necessary. My course is very different than that. Have government take away the rights and the freedoms of the American people.
There should be no tax reduction for middle-income families. Let's get rid of some of the loopholes, deductions, special deals. What I would like to do is to get a tax reduction for high-income people by eliminating the tax on interest, dividends, and capital gains.
You paid 14% in federal taxes. Is that fair to the guy who makes $50,000 and paid a higher rate than you did?
Yeah, I think.
So you think it is fair?
Yeah, I think it's the right way.
You're asking the American people to hire you as President of the United States. They'd like to hear some specifics.
Well, I can tell them specifically what my policy looks like. I will raise taxes on middle-income folks. I will lower the share of taxes paid by high-income individuals. We're going to have higher benefits for high-income people and lower benefits for low-income people. It's worth borrowing money from China to pay for it. This is something which is not just bad economics. I think it's immoral.
Some people, Governor, have an uneasy feeling that you're not constant, that you say whatever you have to say in a particular moment.
Well, they can look at my record.
10 years ago, when you were running for governor of Massachusetts, you were solidly pro-choice on abortion. Now you're against abortion, except in cases of rape, incest, or the health of the mother. When you were running for governor, you ridiculed the idea of signing a no new taxes pledge, and yet now you've signed one. So about you, when people wonder, does Romney believe the things that he says, you say what to those people?
The principles I have are the principles I've had from the beginning of my political life. Why, you ought to be fired. Yeah, that's essentially it. Look, leadership is not a take it or leave it thing. We've seen too much of that in Washington.
You have heard the criticism. I'm sure that your campaign can be vague about some things. And I wonder if this isn't precisely one of those things.
It's very much consistent with my experience as a governor. The devil's in the details. The angel is in the policy. Take this or leave it.
You talk about balancing the budget without raising taxes, but to do that, you would have to have trillions of dollars in budget cuts. So let's be specific in this interview. What would you cut?
Major government programs and Social Security for those that are in retirement. People who rely on Social Security, I'm going to eliminate the program. Well, for instance, Medicaid. If someone has a heart attack, they sit in their apartment and die. Change to Medicare. A private plan, provide the care through emergency rooms, scale back the number of federal workers, government itself, and say to Texas, you've got to take the Massachusetts model.
Balancing the budget will require sacrifice. What is it specifically that you're asking the American people to sacrifice?
Every federal program. I was going to get nothing done.
How would you ease the anti-American sentiment that we see in the Middle East?
Communicate to nations like Egypt, and Egypt is, if you will, is our ally, our close ally. I think we also have to communicate that Israel, that they must also show respect and provide civil rights for minorities in their country.
There are a lot of unknowns in being president. I wonder how you would make a decision on whether to send U.S. forces into combat.
Don't learn from your mistakes. I'm the guy running for president.